Have you ever found yourself wondering whether she's just being friendly or if she's genuinely interested in you? Trust me, you're not alone. The truth is, most men miss the signals that women send their way. Not because they're oblivious, but because these signals are intentionally subtle. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 key things that women do only when they're sexually interested in you. And yes, these signs apply whether you've just met someone for the first time or you've been married for years. But before we dive into those 5 signs, let's first understand why women communicate in such a subtle way. Why women send mixed signals. There are really 2 main reasons why a woman's advances are so understated. First, many women actually believe they're being direct when, in reality, what they're saying and doing is quite cryptic. Because men and women communicate differently, a lot of women don't even realize they're being unclear. They think they're getting their message across, but it's not landing the way they intended. Then there are women who know they're being cryptic and genuinely wish they could be more direct. But society has socialized them not to be. They're trying to be polite. They don't want to seem too forward or aggressive, and they're protecting themselves from rejection and potential shame. They're playing by the rules of a game that was written for them long ago. Even though we can all agree this game is outdated, we haven't collectively moved toward a better way of doing things. Most women assume that guys aren't equipped to have direct conversations about sex and desire, which, honestly, is fair. Most men aren't. So instead of saying, "I want to sleep with you," or even "I have a crush on you," women develop subtle ways to give you green lights. Some are barely noticeable, some are flirty, and some are practically neon signs. Don't worry, I'll decode them all for you. The important thing to understand is that all of these signals are permission-based. They're essentially saying, "Hey, I'm open to this. Are you going to make a move?" The second reason, responsive sexuality. The second reason women's signaling works this way is a bit more complex, but it makes complete sense when you break it down. Many women have what I call a responsive sexuality. I'm not just talking about the opposite of spontaneous desire. I mean that many women are genuinely turned on by knowing that a man desires them. On the extreme end, this is where fantasies rooted in being pursued come into play. Here's the thing. Women want to know they're wanted. Being the object of your desire is a huge turn-on for them, sometimes even more so than the drive for pleasure itself. And that means to access her deepest arousal, she needs you to take the lead. Just as I teach men to create an environment of safety around the woman they're interested in, her subtle cues and permission-giving signals are her way of making you feel safe enough to express your desire for her and take the initiative in the physical realm. She's giving you an opportunity to demonstrate your confidence, your leadership, your masculinity, all through taking the first move. It's similar to how a submissive partner is actually in control in a BDSM dynamic, but that's a conversation for another time. So let's get to it. Here are the 5 things a woman will only do if she wants to sleep with you. Sign number 1. Her body language opens up to you. This might seem obvious, but it's important enough to mention first. Whether you're meeting for the first time or you've been together for years before a woman ever physically touches you, her body language speaks volumes about how she's feeling. When someone captures our interest, we naturally open up to them. If you notice these small but significant gestures, it likely means you have her attention and attraction. This might look like her turning her hips and chest toward you, even in a group setting. She may make frequent, sustained eye contact with you. Maybe she subtly exposes her neck or chest to you. Some of this is happening consciously, but much of it is completely unconscious. All of these things, when shown consistently, are instinctive signs of trust, interest, and physical availability. Think about it. Her body is literally opening up to yours. It couldn't be more symbolic. So, what should you do when you notice these signals? Don't rush into anything, but do reciprocate. Think of it like the opening moves of a game. Test the waters. If she's showing interest, send back some small signs of attraction and see how she responds. Does she lean closer? Does her smile linger? That's your cue to keep things moving forward. Sign number 2. she gets physical and lingers. Moving up the scale of obviousness, the second sign is when she creates actual physical contact and holds it for a moment. Touch is one of the clearest nonverbal cues women use to communicate interest. Most women understand that they often need to be the ones to initiate physical contact first. So if she touches your arm, your shoulder, or your leg, it's a sign she's interested in closing that gap between you. But here's where it gets important: the linger. That's the key distinction. An extra moment or two separates friendliness from flirtation. If a woman touches you to make a point or create basic human connection, it could just be platonic. What matters is the length of the touch and the intention behind it. If she creates contact and lingers, or if she seems to find any excuse to touch you, making multiple points of contact, picking lint off your shirt, fixing your hair, adjusting your collar, these are the signs to watch for. When you notice this, gently mirror it by finding reasons to reciprocate. Fix her necklace, brush a strand of hair back. Look for natural moments in conversation to emphasize what you're saying with touch. Your best move is to make it clear that you're willing to touch her back, which makes her comfortable continuing to escalate and build desire slowly. In previous generations, partner dancing served this exact purpose. You get close enough to another person to catch their scent, to feel how your bodies move together, to test your physical chemistry before deciding if you wanted to see each other again. This is genuinely one of the best parts of flirting. As you continue this back and forth with slightly more contact, notice if she keeps opening up to you and touching you. If she does, you're good to proceed. Sign number 3. She creates opportunities to be alone with you. This is a classic green light, and I think many men miss it. It's when she creates chances to get you one-on-one. Maybe she lingers after an event, and you two end up being the last ones in the room. Or she follows you to the bathroom line or the snack table. Or she mentions that her roommate is out of town and says, "You should really come over and see my dog sometime." These are all ways she's creating a space for something to happen. Women rarely make direct approaches, but we're incredibly skilled at setting up environments where you might take the next move. Even with these signs, it's crucial to stay respectful and continue reading her signals to make sure you're interpreting things correctly. If you end up alone together, you can actually be direct with her in a playful way. Ask her, "Are you trying to get me alone?" Or something more flirtatious like, "I've been thinking about what might happen if we were alone together." If that feels too bold, simply take advantage of the moment of privacy she's created and continue reading her body language. Get closer to her, whisper something, tell her a secret, create an inside joke. Do things that signal you have a special, private connection. These are all things you can do while you're waiting for a moment where you feel confident making the next move. Sign number 4. She singles you out emotionally. Here's something important. Sex isn't purely physical, especially for women. It's deeply emotional. If a woman is sexually interested in you, she will single you out emotionally, and her words will reflect it. She'll use language that shows she feels differently about you than other men. She might say things like, "I don't usually feel this comfortable with people," or "I feel like I can totally be myself around you." These are clear signs that she's telling you she puts you in a different category. You're different from the men she knows platonically. Now I know what you're thinking. But couldn't she say these things to a friend? Absolutely she could. That's why it's important to look for a larger pattern. One cue here, a small signal there, it all adds up. If you're noticing multiple, repeated patterns indicating her interest, and then she hits you with one of these statements, it's a clear sign she's opening the door to something deeper between you. This is a perfect opportunity to reciprocate and see how she responds. A statement like, "I feel like you really get me," or "You make me feel so safe," is a wonderful opening to having a more direct conversation about how you both feel. All meaningful relationships, romantic and sexual ones alike, are built on a foundation of feeling different, feeling chosen, feeling genuinely excited about the other person. She's laying out an invitation. All you have to do is take it. Sign number 5. She leaves the door open to escalation. My final sign that she's thinking about sleeping with you or open to the possibility is when she creates space for it to happen. Sometimes the clearest signals are wrapped in casual phrases like, "It's getting late, but I don't want to go home yet," or a subtle bite of her lip as she looks at your eyes and asks, "So what now?" These are invitations. Women are all about creating an environment where you can take the next step. In terms of green lights, this is about as neon as it gets. But this is also where a lot of men freeze up. They're not quite sure how to take things forward. Instead of making a decision and moving forward, they waffle, which leaves the woman feeling confused or disappointed. If you find yourself in a situation where it seems like she's carefully orchestrating a moment for you to step in and make a move, she probably is. This is your chance to decide if you want to continue escalating. Take a moment and think about what you actually want. Here's something crucial to remember. Even as a man being offered sex, you can say no. And deciding to go back to one of your places, kiss, or share a cab isn't the same as agreeing to sleep with her. You're just deciding on the next right step and sharing it with her. You're only consenting to one thing at a time, not to your entire future together. Go ahead and ask if you can kiss her. Suggest going back to your place. If that feels like too much, say something like, "I'm really attracted to you and I'd like to keep exploring this connection." Or ask how she feels by saying, "It seems like you're into me and want to keep spending time together." Here's the beauty of this approach. The worst that can happen is she backs out and you've made it, so both of you have a gentle landing. If you make your move in a respectful and thoughtful way, even the worst case scenario really isn't that bad. The bigger picture. Look, sex and dating are complicated. I'm sorry, but they just are. I hope my work helps pull apart some of these complexities and make things feel more obvious. But here's something important to recognize. Both men and women flirt for all sorts of reasons, sometimes just for the thrill of it. Remember that not every flirtation needs to end in physical contact, sex, or a relationship. I know that's frustrating, but people flirt and change their minds, or flirt just to flirt. Instead of resenting the game, try seeing it as an opportunity. You wouldn't expect to win every single time you play a game. That would be boring. You play to enjoy the process and improve over time. Flirting is excellent practice. It makes us feel more alive when we do it right. If you read the signs and sense there's something there, trust yourself. If you escalate in a thoughtful, incremental way like I've laid out here, you'll have covered your bases at every step, and you won't have much to lose if either of you decides to step back. And if you do put yourself out there and face rejection, it doesn't mean you misread the signals. The truth is, other people have a lot going on that we can never fully understand. We don't know what's happening inside her mind or in her life. So don't let rejection define you or shape your view of women as a whole. Don't walk away thinking all women are cryptic game players and you'll never try again. You're not a victim here. You got to practice your flirting skills and feel the rush of connection. Just review what happened like any good athlete would and get back out there tomorrow. A final word that I can say. If the night does end with you two alone together, I want to make sure you know how to make that experience truly unforgettable. The work you've done, reading these signals correctly and escalating thoughtfully, deserves a payoff that's equally thoughtful and pleasurable. She's invested the effort to send you these signals, and you've invested the time to decode them. So make sure you both walk away with a sexual experience that neither of you will forget. Remember, good communication doesn't end when physical intimacy begins. It's actually just getting started. Whether you're navigating a new connection or deepening an existing relationship, the fundamentals remain the same. Presence, respect, clear communication, and genuine desire for the other person's pleasure and comfort. These are the things that transform a good encounter into an unforgettable one. If you aren't already subscribed, please hit that button so you can get all of my insights on sex, dating, relationships, and so much more. I'm Dr. Eva Danielle, and I'm passionate about helping you navigate these complex aspects of human connection with confidence and authenticity. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.